Want to keep up with the latest Camodo gaming videos? Be sure to subscribe and click that bell. There's a bunch of people down. People still climbing out of the crafts there. This one's really unloading a lot of people here. That actually looks amazing. I like that. Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, bringing you guys another episode of Tiny Town VR, and yes folks, we are back once again, and today we are ready for a new event here in the city. So, if you didn't catch last episode, I'll flash it in the top right corner, but we had Granny pay a visit to Tiny Town, and we kind of based it on a story of this nuke going off, releasing some sort of gas into the air, and Granny was formed out of, let's grab her, Oblivious Grandma. So, wow, to believe you became that. Alright, let's just chunk that at you. There we go. So, if you missed that episode, that's going to be up in the top right corner. You guys were fantastic about the theories and all the information you guys were giving me about what was happening there. So, today, now, I took a lot of requests for new disasters here in the city. You guys were excellent on the last episode, but I took one that wasn't necessarily the highest rated one. It was something that I thought, man, that would actually be really cool, and we would get to utilize the military stuff. So today, we're going to be doing a D-Day beach landing, and I know it sounds strange, but honestly, ask yourself, look at the city, and tell me that all this is not strange. Like, seriously. So, we're going to be doing a D-Day landing here. We will be returning with another episode of Tiny Town relatively soon, with the viewer request one of the higher rated ones from the last episode. It might be a volcano. I saw a fire disaster. So, we will have another disaster, but we're actually going to have some military action here today. So, I'm thinking that it's going to be over in this area here, kind of flatten the water out. We'll have like a beach here, and we'll have two opposing forces clashing on the beach, and it's going to be absolutely awesome. Plus, we finally get to really use the military stuff. We got to use it a little bit in the zombie apocalypse theme, but I really want to use some of the extra stuff they have in that pack. So, anyways, if you have any suggestions for future episodes, comment below, and if you're enjoying Tiny Town on the channel, maybe hit that thumbs up button. I still can't make a thumbs up with this, can I? Hit the thumbs up button, and let's jump right into this. Alright, finally, we get to really jump into the military here. Okay, so we gotta pick our sides here. Obviously, it's gonna be like green versus... what do we have here? We got some blue. Let's find the plain-looking troops here. Here we go. We got blue versus green. Is that what it's... whoa, hold on, let's zoom out. Let's get down to our people here. So, I believe this is gonna be the sides here of the war. So, got that figured out. Let's go ahead and get some groundwork done here. Alright, so D-Day landing. Obviously, we've got to have a beach here. So, what I'm thinking is we're going to have a pretty large beachfront here. So, we'll go all the way across, something like that. And it's going to be surrounded by some cliffs and some hills. And I think the railroad pack, yeah, there we go. Those are the hills I'm looking for, so something like that. So let's go ahead and get down into scale real quick. That way we can get a feel for how this is going to look. So we'll have some hilly sections. We'll have to actually build bunkers and stuff like that. Let's make sure our snapping is off. Alright, so we can place this something like that. Alright, and I hope they have a section of sand. Oh, we just made that hill really huge. Hold on, let's get one more here. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be our beach section here, our landing points. This is going to be a little bit of a modern take on it, because obviously we don't have any World War II troops and stuff like that. But, nonetheless, let me go ahead and find some more town items here. I need to find some beach areas, or some sand. You know what's kind of amazing here in Tiny Town? They have the beaches, but they don't have a sand block. Or the sand block they do have... check this out. Okay, so we have a sand block here. That sand block doesn't exactly match the beach block, which is a little disorienting, if you ask me. I don't understand why that's a thing. Alright, let's turn snapping back on. We're probably going to have to use it anyways. Maybe there's a... or we could, I guess, make it grass. That's not much beach to play with, though. That is a bit of a pickle. I mean, you're dealing with a little bit of beach. We could go straight to grass and still have like a battlefield set up. That's probably what we're going to do, because it looks really disorienting having this shade of beach compared to that when we could just match up the actual grass there. Alright, so we have some of our beachfront done. It's really going to be an island, and this might be a bit of a mini-series. We'll do the beach landing first, and then maybe we'll surround it off. I still have to pass the city bridge over there at some point, but I do like the way this looks. So I didn't have, really, since this is going to be grass, I made the shingles out of these spheres. We'll have some broken sections. Now, the military pack does have some barbed wire, and it's technically on a fence, but I feel like if I plant it into the ground, something like that, it's not really barbed wire, I would say, but it's pretty darn close. Now, they do have the little anti-tank defenses that will stick all over the place. We'll need something for like little craters for artillery. Now, we do have little explosive effects too that we're going to be placing as they're shelling the beach, but I think for the barbed wire we might have to use this. So if we were to plant this into that, would that kind of create a obstacle there? I do believe it does. Let me fill this up real quick. Alright, so shingles are pretty much complete. We're going to have like a hole blown in this side, and maybe they're blowing a hole in the other side over there. So before we start really placing troops and getting crazy on the beach, we really do need to do a bunker. Now, I don't believe the military pack has a pre-built one, so we're going to have to build our own, or at least, does it? No, nothing that really resembles a bunker. We got some watchtowers, some tents and stuff that we'll be able to use, but we will have to custom build a bunker here. So, not too hard to actually do once you think about it. Let's go to the primitive shapes here. Get some squares. We're going to want like that gray there. Do we have a rectangle? Or is it just the squares? Okay, it's just the squares. So we're going to build like an old World War II style bunker here. So if we were to start... Actually, let's go ahead. We could really take advantage of the size here because I really just have to make it to where I can have the roof open there. So let's do that. There we go. We're going to stick one here. Let's go down a little bit, probably about right there. We'll need to make like a little trench to it. So we'll get one there. Alright. And we're going to get one on this side. Okay, so we have our two bottoms of the bunkers. So we got to do the tops now. Now these are going to be a little bit more trickier to do. So let's go across like that. I really wish you could go up and down with these squares, but you can't. So we'll do let's get rid of those. We're going to have to leave an opening here, so it's going to take a bit of positioning. I really wish I could just save this object and copy it over to the other bunker. It's going to take a little bit of practice here. It's probably not going to look perfect. Alright, that actually doesn't look too bad. It is a little janky on certain points, and that's really just because of the way the snapping is in Tiny Town with those particular parts. So we're going to do that one. We're going to do this one. We'll probably do like a wall or something, or maybe like a trench. That way there could be maybe some smaller emplacements there. But let's go ahead and get over to this bunker. Actually, we're going to steal a block off this one. That way I can assure we got the same size blocks. Alright, so bunkers are complete, so we'll have some machine gun nest up there. So let's go ahead and get to work here. We're about to do some beach stuff. I want to stick a wall here, which I'm thinking this looks pretty good for a wall that's wedged right here. So maybe we'll start there. Actually, we could probably snap this one. So let's go snap that there. And we're going to run this all the way across here. So we're going to go boom, 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 boom. And we're going to stick a gate into here. Alright, so got some towers up. Wall is complete. Now, let's see. What do we have here as far as vehicles? Do they have any sort of anti-air? I don't believe they do in this pack, huh? Let's check the other little items here. I know they got like MG nest, which we can use these to make sure snapping is not on. And you can throw a couple of these up into there, like that. That way you can have the little MG nest in there. We'll stick people in there too. This is gonna look cool. Okay, so we have to dish out vehicles. I don't see any AA. There's like a little radar here. There's tanks, trucks, more tanks, like little APC style vehicles. So we're gonna go ahead. We'll give them gray. I guess that actually makes sense. So we'll stick a couple of these vehicles also defending the area. There we go. Get one of those. Get another one over on this side. Got a little gap in that mountain back there that I can see. Let's go ahead and place that down. There we go. Okay, this is where it's going to be a little bit tricky. This is going to be a little bit of a different beach landing. I don't have like Higgins boats, so that's not an option. The best thing, I'm pretty sure these are amphibious, or we're going to say they're amphibious. So that's one thing that's going to be approaching the beach. That's a pretty bulky APC too. We'll say that one's amphibious. Now, do we have any actual boats maybe that we can use? I don't think we do. I don't know, it might be all amphibious craft. That somewhat looks like a Higgins boat if it was shrunk down. Say it was about like that. You know, that's actually almost passable. We'll call it almost passable. But, you know, we might actually use this to transport troops. Let's see the scaling wise. We'll see how we need to scale these things. We'll still have the APCs coming. But let's see. If a troop was standing in that. Okay, so it definitely needs to be bigger there. They probably need to be about, I would say, that's a big Higgins boat. I don't think they carried that many troops, but yeah, you know, I might have to stick them down in it a little bit, to be honest with you. We'll make it work. Alright, so we're currently placing our little troop boats here. Even though they look a little odd, you kind of have to be creative here in Tiny Town. So we got those. Maybe we'll have one that's on fire or something, kind of sinking. Alright, so let's zoom in. That actually looks pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so obviously the APCs and tanks, anything that's coming ashore is gonna have some issues with the obstacles. So we need to go ahead and go to military here. And we need to start placing those bad boys up here too. And those are going to be all over the beach. Alright, so we're adding little details now. Before we get the troops on, we'll have some like containers with ammo and stuff that's washed ashore. All sorts of just chaos here. Boxes that have come off the, maybe some of the supply vessels. This is going to be pretty awesome. I'm already liking the way this thing looks. So it's got to litter the beach with a bunch of stuff here. And then we'll check back in with you guys. Still just working to make this as detailed as possible. Alright, so I'll give you guys another little tour here. We have quite a few vehicles now in the area. So they're trying to get through all the tank obstacles on the beach. As you can see, there's still crafts coming in. Quite a few have been destroyed on their way up here. There's quite a few more obstacles, so I'm going to kind of cruise through here. Alright, so we're about to do some troops. I'm going to do one last round of these obstacles up here. We can actually turn snapping on for these. That way we kind of cover the battlefield. So give you guys a little aerial shot of kind of what we're dealing with right now. That looks pretty awesome. Alright, so we're starting to deal with the troop portion of this scenario. So this is going to be where it's going to get messy, and it's going to take a lot to do this, because we're going to have quite a few troops on the ground. So let's go ahead and expand this, that way we can get a good view of this. So you're going to have troops. I kind of loaded some up in a boat back here. I'm working on kind of staggering them out a little bit. That way they don't all look like kind of generic and stacked on top of each other. So that's what a boat looks like loaded up. Now, ideally, their heads would be below this, but just the way that thing's shaped, they're already kind of down there. I guess I could go something like that. But, yeah, we could duck them down just a wee bit further. They might want to be using the helmets today, boys. Alright, so we're going to have troops just hopping out of these boats, trying their best to get out. So you have people like this guy kind of going over here. There we go. He'll be climbing out, so we'll expand upon. He'll have buddies all over the beach here, so we need to start getting some weapons out because we're going to need quite a few of those. So I'm going to have to do some soldiers in generic running poses like that. That way we can have plenty of them around here. Alright, so we're starting to pile in the troops here. As you can see, there's a lot on the land right now, but there needs to be even more. Like, this is going to be pure chaos. So I'm trying to mix them up as much as possible. I have not armed anybody yet because that I want to do all in one little punch. So we're still working on getting our troops out. We're going to have a couple scenes set up here, not just a bunch of generic troops running up and down. So I will cut back in whenever we start to work on those. That way we can show you guys the little details here. Alright, so we have even more troops piled up on the beach. I redid some of the boats out here. They're holding just a little less people, so they're coming up. This boat actually got hit. You can see it's exploding, the people were flying. So, up here on the beach, let's go ahead and go over in a little bit of finer detail here. Actually, wait, hold on, I almost forgot. We got to get the weapons in the hands first, and then we'll go over the fine detail. Alright, so half the beach is done. Let's go ahead and go over everything here. You see troops rushing up. They've all got weapons. This guy's weapon looks like it's a little sideways. There we go. So, yeah, they're rushing up. The explosions happening in the background. You see all the APCs, amphibious craft. I mean, just total chaos going on here. There's a bunch of people down. People still climbing out of the crafts there. This one's really unloading a lot of people here. That actually looks amazing. I like that. You almost kind of forget that those are not Higgins boats, or those are actually like barges. Oh well. There you go. You need a weapon there. So yeah, you got more up through this section of the beach. A lot of these boats have already emptied. Some exploded tanks. And a lot more troops coming through. People still hopping off. Of course, out in the water, you got all the troops that are still yet to come. Actually, a couple of them are... This was the boat I had troubles with. There we go. So yeah, they're still popping up through the water here. So I'd imagine there's some air support trying to come through. But AA's probably having a fit with it right now. So let's go into airport real quick. What would be the opposing force jet? Maybe the one with the star here. We'll have the US jet like that. So maybe we'll have a... Oh, don't need the jet being that big. We'll have a couple jets going at it, though. Make that look cool. Alright, so we are going to have some attack helicopters coming in. These things are still having problems. And they're going to try to go ahead and get some troops up over the beach by Hueys back here. But I imagine they're running into a bit of an issue here, too. So let's go ahead and scale some of these out. Kind of place these things away from each other a bit. Maybe we'll have one going down here. Let's grab that one. This one's going down into the water here. So there you go. You got that one going down. That is cool looking. All right, so we need to get some more bodies on the beach here running up. Of course, you got this little blown out area, and we need to get some of our opposing force soldiers up here too. Alright, so you got gunners in the bunkers, you got gunners in the towers, actually, those are actually snipers. You got some machine gun nest, hold on, let's get up a little bit here. Yeah, you've got the machine gun nest all over here. You got the vehicles, you got some allied troops that are breaking through right here. And then of course you have the chaos from the skies that's happening right now. Man, I really like the way this thing came out. We gotta add a couple explosive effects, like the areas getting shelled. We won't actually do the artillery itself, because I think we've already been building enough today, but we will move on to that maybe next episode. Alright, so you can see up here we have some explosions going on. You got some up the beach. You got a really big one going on right there. I think for the most part, the beach scene itself is fairly complete. So, let's zoom out and see what that looks like. Oh, that looks pretty awesome. That's actually, just to give you guys a scale of what the landing looks like. There's the landing. There's the prison from a couple episodes ago. That looks pretty cool. So what I need to do, I need to go ahead and fill in the rest of this area with some water here. And get that complete. And we'll start to shape what's going to be behind it. So yeah, maybe for next time we can do some stuff that would be back here behind the wall. Like some stuff for the opposing force troops. And then maybe there will be a bigger base they're protecting back here. Not really sure, but maybe this will look like a little staging area for them that we can build up. Is there any antennas or radars? Actually, we had that radar vehicle. We could use that back here. Let's see, we need a gray one, so it'd be something like that. Really wish they had some anti-air. I guess you could stick one of the trucks down and have it shooting rockets up to keep some of that off the beach. But that looks like pure chaos from here. I mean, look at that. You can see the city in the background. I mean, there's just so much going on here. I don't know when this is going to end here. Is there going to be a point when the map just bugs out on me? Or I don't know how much more Tiny Town can take. But I do like our little scene here today. So, what do you guys think should be back here? Let me know down in the comments section below. And what is this war all over between the blue and the green? I'll give you guys one more view of that. That is awesome. But anyways, I think we're going to wrap it up for this episode of Tiny Town. Got quite a bit done, obviously, here today. So we will try to do some more. We will also jump back into the city and do some more disasters. So go ahead and comment what you want to see there. But I want to thank you guys for all the love and support on the Tiny Town series. You guys are awesome, and we will see you guys next time in Tiny Town. Thank you.